All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving deep into the playbook of a true Hollywood legend, Will Packer. We're talking about a guy whose movies have pulled in over $1 billion at the box office. So how'd he do it? Let's unlock that mindset.
So, let's just kick things off with this absolute gem from the man himself. It's such a simple but powerful switch, right? Instead of getting bogged down by the fear of failure, he's telling us to flip the script entirely, to focus on what's possible. And it really all boils down to this one question he wants you to ask yourself. Who better than you? I mean, really think about that. It's a question that's already got the answer baked right in. The answer is you. Okay, let's really dig into what that means.
Okay, so here's the first big idea. You've got to stop seeing yourself as just a character in your own life story. No, you are the producer. You're the one in charge of the whole show.
And what does a producer actually do? Well, they're the ultimate project manager. They're the ones pulling all the strings. They get the money, they find the talent, they shape the vision. They put all the pieces together to make the movie happen. And that's the reframe here. You're not just passively living your life, you're actively building it.
This is so important. Packer's whole point is that we spend way too much time waiting around for someone to give us a chance, to open a door. But what he's saying is, forget that. You are the key. You are the secret sauce. You've got the keys in your own pocket.
All right, so if you're going to be the producer of your own life, you need a certain kind of confidence. And Packer has a great name for it, something he calls healthy arrogance. Now, I know what you're thinking, arrogance, but stick with me here.
And this chart just breaks it down perfectly. See, toxic arrogance is all about ego. I'm better than you. But healthy arrogance, that's an internal belief. I belong here. It's not about thinking you're the most important person in the room. It's about believing the room is better because you're in it. It shifts the focus from, look at me, to, how can I add value? It's a total game changer.
So how do you build this healthy arrogance? Well, Packer literally gives himself a pep rally every single day. He looks in the mirror and tells himself, you got this, you have the skills. Because he knows the most important voice you're going to hear all day is your own. You have to be your own biggest fan first.
So you've got the mindset, you're feeling that healthy arrogance, awesome. But that's only half the battle, right? Now you have to turn that feeling into actual action. You have to create momentum, especially when you feel like you're completely stuck.
And Packer puts it really simply. He says, you gotta be a doer, not a talker. I mean, think about it. Everyone talks a big game. The world is full of talkers. It's the people who actually do things that stand out.
But what if you don't know where to start? He has this brilliant little trick he calls fabricating momentum. It's all about tricking your brain. Look, instead of trying to climb the whole mountain, just set a tiny goal, like buying the hiking shoes. Then accomplish another tiny goal, like driving by the mountain. Acknowledge that you did it. It sounds silly, but what you're doing is breaking a cycle of failure and starting a new cycle of winning. Even tiny wins build up.
And this isn't just theory. Look at this number, $75,000. That's what he had for his first movie. You know what his goal was? $750,000. He was nowhere near it. But you know what? He made that $75,000 movie. And that tiny little project did two huge things. First, it showed other people that he could actually make a film. But maybe more importantly, it proved to himself that he could do it. He wasn't a talker anymore. He was a doer. He had created his own momentum from scratch.
Okay, so you're out there, you're doing things, you're building momentum, and then bam, you hit a wall. You get a no. It's gonna happen, right? In fact, it's guaranteed. But here's where Packer's producer mindset really kicks in. He teaches us to look at rejection completely differently. Not as an ending, but as data.
Check this out. 5. That is the number of times Beyoncé, yes, that Beyoncé, said no to starring in his movie Obsessed. 5 times. Most people would have given up after 1, maybe 2.
But Packer believes this: every no has value. So instead of just walking away with his tail between his legs, he treated each no as a chance to learn. He'd ask, okay, why not? What can we change? He used that feedback to make the script better, to make the deal better, until he finally turned that no into a yes.
And this is the process. He calls it the fortuitous no. Look, getting rejected stings. It's painful, but he says you have to get past your ego, get past the pain, and just ask why. Because that feedback, that data, is pure gold. It helps you strengthen your project. The no actually shows you the exact path you need to take to get to a yes.
And that brings us to the final and maybe the most powerful piece of the playbook.
It's all about your story and how it ends. Packer has this amazing perspective on this, reminding us that it is never, ever too late to create a blockbuster ending for yourself.
See, in the movie business, everybody knows about the third act. It's the finale, it's the part that ties everything together. A movie can be just okay for the first 2 acts, but if it has a killer ending, that's what people remember. The ending defines how you feel about the entire film.
And that's his point about life. So many of us judge our entire movie, our whole life, based on the first act. You know, the messy parts, the mistakes, the slow start. But your story isn't over. You're still writing it. You are still the producer, and you're in control of that ending. So that's the question he leaves us with. Your story is not over. The script is still in your hands. So, what's your blockbuster ending going to be? You're the producer. You get to decide.